Hello everyone, welcome at 39th International Young Audience Film Festival Ale Kino. Today, special guest of our Q&A is Miryam Bouchard, the director of the film My Very Own Circus. Hello Miryam.
Hello everybody.
Hello, pleasure to have you here with us at the festival. I saw your film and there is a lot of issues that I would like to talk with you, but at the very beginning, you're the director of this film, but also a co-writer of the script. At the very beginning of the film, you are telling us that this story is loosely connected with the real life. Also, at the end, you are dedicating it to your mother. So, I would like to ask you, is the story of Laura inspired by your own life? Is it maybe in some parts autobiographical? Could you tell us something about that?
Yes, it's totally inspired by my life. I thought I had a very normal childhood until I got to high school and I met a teenager and I realized I didn't have a normal childhood. I was on the road with my father and he was a clown, and a street artist. And my mom was helping him in this show. The film is dedicated to my mom because she's still alive and she's my best friend, but she's not in the movie.
Okay.
And she was very pissed. No, we could say that the teacher that Laura meets in high school is probably inspired by my mother because she's a teacher. So my father was a clown and my mother was a teacher. You can imagine the arguments around the table at dinner. My father was a clown, yes. He was an actor. He was also writing poetry. So I grew up in this universe. Mm-hmm. School was not very important for my dad, but I was very curious and I liked to learn. So I wanted to go to private school. I ended up in a private school, but later on in my life, around when I was 17 years old. So some of the facts in the film are true. But how can I say that? I took facts of my life, but I managed to put all of them in like 1 year.
Okay.
Of this child's life. So some of those things happened to me. I was 6, 12, or 16 years old. But in the movie, I thought it was very interesting to have this coming of age movie at the moment where, as women, well, there's a biological change. We get our periods, and so that's a turning point in our life. And I thought it was interesting to, locate all those moments during that period.
That's amazing. Maybe that's why your story is so complex, because you put all of these different issues in 1 year of your whole life. But this is very. I think that this is very important that you mentioned the period issue, because in my opinion, in your film, there is also a problem of menstruation poverty, which is a very important issue of life of many teenagers all around the world lately. So was your intention to pay viewers attention to that problem, or to simply just show that Laura has absent mother?
A little bit of both, I guess. We were very poor, and I didn't know we were poor.
Okay.
Because I had magical parents. But through very much concrete, basic stuff that you need to use every day, you realize that you're poor. You don't lack a sports car.
Yeah, of course.
You lack Tampax.
Regular things.
Exactement, regular things. And je sais pas comment dire débrouillard, but you find ways, street smart ways, to manage around those problems. So yes, in a way, I find it very unfair that we have to pay for this. I found it completely unfair that women has to pay for this. it's very expensive, and I don't understand. And we're fighting about this in Quebec. We think the government should pay for this. It's unfair that so much money that we earn by working goes into serviette sanitaire, hygienic product. I don't know how
Yeah,
to
of
say that in
course,
English.
hygienic is fine, but this is also important because I haven't seen it in a movie which is also dedicated for a young audience before. So that's why I wanted to ask you about this part, and I totally agree.
But
Yeah.
I wanted to add something that also the education should be free. It's the same subject in a movie, you know. A lot of things we should have access to this. Everybody should have access to education. We shouldn't start life with inequity.
Yeah, that's true, and I totally agree with you. But of course, your story is also about the father and daughter relationship, and also maybe about the part of many kids' life when parents are imposing them their own way of thinking, and this is very interesting for me in this film. There is a very important part when Laura is saying, I want you to be you as long as you let me be me. So I would like to ask you, do you think that this is kind of a rebellion against her father, the whole thing that she's doing to avoid the way of living of his father, or fighting to have a kind of possibility to be herself or to make her own decisions in life?
I think that teenage is the moment in your life where you have to position yourself in opposition to your parents in order to find your own path and your own voice. It doesn't mean that you will not come back to the essence of your family or your parents, but there's a moment where you need to to go on another road. It's hard to explain those abstract subjects in English, but it doesn't mean that our parents are not good. It's just that we have to define ourselves. And the first step is to do it by opposition. It's the easiest, and it's like the instinct. We have, instinctively we do this.
Okay.
This moment in the film is particular because my father passed away 12 years ago. And there's things I wasn't able to tell him. I didn't have the time. He passed away very abruptly. So it's a conversation I would have loved to have with him. Because it's not because we're different that there's no love. I think there's even more love when we accept people the way they are. It's stronger. And at the same time, I'm gonna extirp myself from the emotion now. At the same time, I think that it's a parallel of how the government should lead countries. They should listen to us. They should accept what we're asking for, and we would be all better countries. We would be better person. We would be better humans. I mean, there's no reason why we shouldn't ask each other like we are.
That's great message from the film for all of us, not only for teenagers and youngsters, but also for adults, that we should just give each other a space to be who we are and who we want to be. But also, if I can ask you about this, maybe it's also your part of life, but there is funeral of the clown in your film, and it's of course it's a sad moment, but it's a lovely way to say goodbye to person whose life was dedicated for this job. So was it also inspired by a true events? Does it look like that?
Very much. Yes, very much. Yes, actually, my father's funeral was much more crazier than this, but yes, it looks like that. It'd be like that. Actually, all the extras that we see in that scene there are musicians or clown that, you know, I met through my childhood. And I was a little bit stressed out because I can't cry on the set. And it was a very like a happy movie, you know, a happy set. I never cried, but that day I was like, perhaps I won't be able to control myself, because my daughter is also in the scene. She's the young girl putting the hat on the tombstone, and she didn't know her grandfather, and all this idea of doing mon cirque à moi, my I don't know what's the title in English? My very own circus.
My very own circus. Yes.
Yeah. So the idea of doing my very own circus was to tell my kid where we're coming from and who's her grandfather. So that day was, anyway, I didn't cry. It was a great moment. We had fun and we laughed, and the band that was there played, give us a show. It was fantastic.
So that was a very, very important film, not only for you, but also for your daughter.
Yes, of course. And my husband is also one of the extra in that scene. And even though, like the old clowns, the couple of old clowns, they're also artists that are very important here in Quebec, and that I knew when I was a kid, and that knew my father. And Patrick Huard, of course, the actor who plays Bill. I was the end of the writing of while I was writing the script, I was thinking about him. And Robin Aubert, the actor who's playing Mandeep, is also a director. I know him for like 25 years now. So all this movie was a family thing. I had to feel like I was accompagné. I don't know how to say that. I was surrounded by friends.
And I think that for me as a viewer, and I'm sure that for all of the viewers of our festival, it's something that you can sense and that you can feel that you are connected, and this is like very emotional film. So thank you very much for
C'est tout.
C'est tout.
That's it.
I'm not speaking French, sorry.
Yes, you just did.
So yeah, it's our time is has ended. So thank you very much for talking with you, but mainly for this story and for sharing it with us. And I really think that this is special.
Thank you so much. I wish I would be there with you and meet you guys in real. And I can't wait for this pandemic to be over. I wish you all well.
We are also, and we are saying always welcome to you in Poznan at the festival. This is the 39th edition, so there will be more.
Oh, great. Long live to your festival.
Thank you, Miryam. Thank you, and
Bye.
see you. Bye-bye.
À bientôt.